And I don't want to, let's say if you've been training this gentleman who's a nice guy, let us into his home. I don't want to disrespect him, but he's anonymous.
Yeah.
He's been training him for years. That's one of the most pathetic physical specimens I have ever seen in my life, so.
What was he training him to be, a bookstore clerk?
Hey, I happened to saw the episode of After Hours, usually Mike T or the Meow Man sent it to me. And I was shocked at Mr. G's statements. When did we ever say he had arsenic in his?
Well, I think it was, remember that in the video from a couple days ago I said cyanide.
Big difference.
Huge difference, and I don't know where he gets his information from thinking that we're trying to bash his business. I mean, if you can't understand that that's a joke, there's something wrong with you.
If that's bashing his business and he's that sensitive, he shouldn't be running a business.
Right.
But truthfully, that last batch that we had at the lawyer's house was horrible.
Well,
I had to throw them out. I mean, the cookies were great, the Jumbo Palumbo.
Yeah.
But the last one, to be honest, I had stomach problems for just eating a little bit. I tried eating them 3 days, and
we both did, and that's what he's upset about. Probably is us talking about that in the video, but we're not making it up. We're just saying what happened. The keto cookie that we tried, we both had stomach issues after.
Yeah.
That's. Hopefully he doesn't open up a restaurant because he'll be punching everyone in the face who doesn't like the salmon. Or leaves a Yelp review.
Well, it's...
I also think that thinks that we are behind, like going onto his page and leaving reviews and shit. We don't do that type of shit. That's, people take it upon themselves.
I don't even know how to do it. I'm not technologically capable.
But he probably sees accounts as there. People probably make fake accounts as us, and he probably thinks it's us going on there.
Well, he's way too sensitive. And like I said yesterday, you better worry about being sensitive to my fists and feet versus these words. I'm surprised he hasn't learned his lesson.
Well, now he said he's going to give you no mercy.
What was he going to give me before? A blowjob?
And he was talking about, he keeps saying, oh, they were blown away in person by my size. We were kissing, we were trolling him like we do to everybody else. We were kissing his ass just so we could laugh about it later, like everybody else.
Blown away? I was surprised he was that small.
Listen, I'm not happy about all of this, but after I watched that last night, and me and him were communicating before going back and forth. I was always respectful to the guy. Always let him know anything we say is just a joke, just for entertainment, this and that. And then for him to go on there and say some shit like that about me last night, I texted him and I confronted him about it, and I said, "Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. How's that?" Which I'm not proud to curse at.
Hey, you're going to take away my main event. He's going to want you now.
Yeah.
Do it so he can inflict some pain. So who's this Marine, this former Marine that he recruited to fight you? Who's this all about?
I don't know. I didn't see that part.
I heard it somewhere. It was on it, yeah.
Former Marine.
Again, a title.
You're a former Marine.
Yes, true. A title designed to scare people.
Yeah.
It's either a former Marine, a Hell's Angel.
Well, he's the current Keebler Elf. How about that?
He's probably in the Guardian Angels, too.
And then, did you hear him say they wanted to choreograph the fight? The only time I said that was on Palumbo's podcast when I went on by myself, and I said, yeah, we should. Me and Dave both agreed, yeah, it should be WWE. I never texted him and said, oh, we should fake this, fake that, whatever.
Oh, that was...
He's really reaching, you know?
Well, he better worry about reaching me with his fists.
He better worry about reaching that top shelf when he needs an 8th cup of flour.
Or an 8th cup of cyanide.
Or arsenic, yeah.
And as far as changing from the Olympia, kind of disappointed. I think it would have worked. Days like everybody's hurrying up between
So
the
do
night
it after.
show and
I think it'd be better to do it after.
yeah,
Do
like
it
an
at
after party. What happened with the
Yeah.
vodka? That's true.
Do it at 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, actually, they should have it at a nightclub.
That's another thing, is like he's making all these plans and running things. I don't agree with most of the things that he wants to do, you know? And I told him one time, I said, whatever the finances are, whatever it's going to cost, if you need help with that, let me know. Whether we got to do a GoFundMe, whatever we got to do, I'll try to help you out. And he goes on there last night talking like that, you know? I was real pissed off after seeing that.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's great, because now I really want you to kick his ass. So.
Well, it's talking about making around Halloween and Boca. That's fine with me. Although I think it would have worked at the Olympia,
Yeah, definitely.
especially if they would have had it at a nightclub. You can bring an octagon in and have the, I don't know where they're having the after party. They probably already had it, but
Right.
you could have tried to have it there
Right.
with the vodka. And you've got the girls, the ring girls and stuff. That's perfect for a nightclub.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But oh well.
No, it's not. Oh well, we can work on that.
Yeah.
Anybody in the Orlando area that owns nightclubs or has connections, reach out to us.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, is afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
The whole hype behind the Olympia is over with. Now everybody can just...
Yeah.
And word will spread. Where are you going after? Where
Great.
you going
Competitors
tonight?
will
Where
probably
you going
enjoy seeing it. They know.
Right.
know
All we
our
got to
stuff.
do is get one or two of the competitors to make an appearance at the after party, and then, if they put an advertisement out there saying, I'm going to be at the after party here after the Olympia, people will
Most
go.
of them usually go.
Right. So maybe it's time for us to just take over. And
Well, at least his brother's there, Bobby, who I call Bobby Sands. You guys want to Google Bobby Sands? He went on a hunger strike back in the 80s, the IRA member. So I guess he should have his brother go on a hunger strike until Mr. G can beat me.
What the hell is a hunger strike?
Well, it's his brother, Bobby Sands, who's, he said his brother's name is Bobby, so I'll call him Bobby Sands. He's one of those Irish Republican Army terrorists I said terrorists, that went on a hunger strike when he was thrown in a British prison back in the 80s. And he died, ended up, starving to death, so. No, he's talking about my brother.
In honor of each and every innocent cookie that was baked to a crisp, we're going to throw him in the oven and see how he likes it. The only thing is, if you turned him into a cookie, there would only be about half a gram of protein.
The sarcopenic simp.
It's too much. He was telling me that Lee Priest is going to bartend via Skype. They're going to have a tablet there with Lee Priest on live bartending to people.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
What is a sarcopenic simp?
Well, sarcopenia is a wasting of disease that usually older men and women get. They call it sarcopenia, age-related muscle wasting.
Yeah.
So, the sarcopenic simp.
Yeah, he said how we thought he was so big in person. Well, now we could tell the truth. You look like a tub of fluff.
And he said he could have pushed me anywhere. I wasn't even. I would just, gauge him.
Yeah.
He's strong. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't worried, or trying to brace myself. Or
the only person there
stay
who
low.
could have dominated was the lawyer.
Yeah.
Get better from there.
And it will. And so will our fighting skills,
Yeah.
our lifting skills, and our muscle mass and definition. And our intelligence, and our charisma, and our spirituality, and our health. And remember the old Friedrich Nietzsche saying, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So the more difficult things you go through, the more hardships, the more pain, as long as you're not dead, you're going to be a stronger person for it.
Yeah. Somebody sent me something great about that today. It's like, why do men grow mostly in hard times? And it was because when you don't have your normal circumstances to rely on, it forces you to go outwards of yourself and find something else to, you know what I mean? Find something else to make you happy other than what you typically are used to. I can't repeat things. I need some sort of ADD medication or something. I can't even make a sentence on some days.
Well, you're putting all your mind and your body on the line, and now we're going through the endurance aspect, and we saw how difficult that was yesterday. Plan on doing it again today. So, and being this heavy, until you guys are in our shoes, you know how it feels like to be close to 300 pounds or over 300 pounds and doing, high cardiovascular activity after a weight workout. Now, Mr. G's never been anywhere near 300 pounds. Not even when he was taking 8 Anadrol a day.
How much did he weigh at that time, do you think?
What, 150? Yeah, I've been doing consultations by text, not only from Ted today, but Aladdin, who unfortunately had that show moved up, so getting a lot of practice in that.
What did Aladdin have to say?
He just, hey, I need to lose more fat, and I recommended the 3 consonant compound, but I said, look, you gotta do minimum dosage and do it for 10 days. Don't do it anywhere near the show, which is July 31st. Because it's going to ruin your definition. You're going to feel like shit and you won't be able to pose. But I said, don't go higher. You could burn a pound of fat a day. He says you burn about 10
pounds. Are you talking about something yellow?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said, if you do 200, you might burn half a pound a day, which is pretty much all you need for 10 days, because that's going to be about 5 pounds. And I don't think he has that much more to lose then, but he should do fine. I don't know if that's the source, but...
That stuff is so scary. For all you out there, I'm sure
your
you've seen else.
Your dosages were so scary. I'm sure. Who is this guy? Who is he, really?
Who?
This Mr. G, as far as fighting goes. They talk about him like he's a freaking Chuck Liddell or something. What am I getting into?
He thinks he's Chuck Liddell. He said he's representing the whole MMA community. They don't even know who he is.
And when he talks about I say I don't need to train for it. Yes, you do, but I'm saying, as far as me trying to beat him, I don't need a whole hell of a lot of training.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think about that, Mr. Smalls? You and your brother, Bobby Sands. Is he going to go on a hunger strike? I think these guys like seeing this weird energy ritual.
It is a ritual.
I should save it. I'm afraid, because I'm going to start doing it out here with Rob once I get the tanning beds done, because first we're going to hit the beds.
You ever watch Jaywalking with Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
It is. Even watch him train's kind of relaxing. He never grunts or groans, but look at the physique. He's just so consistent and so robot-like. He's got control. It just nothing affects that guy.
And he's patented the Jimmy Neutron haircut.
I tell you what, I mean, his girl's probably the biggest headache in his life, but he lives a stress-free life. He's got all bases covered. I like that. And what I also like is he always did cardio first thing in the morning, no matter what phase he was in.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, that's a guy that rarely went to failure. He was short of it. Meals down pat, sleep down pat, pharmacology down pat, nutrition, the meat, everything. And leading no stress life. You don't see him start in trouble with people when people try to harass him at his booth. Security.
Yeah, why do we attract so much of that?
Because that's what we like. We live off it. Got to pay your dues, I guess. But he knew the right people at the right time up in Massachusetts. Ex-high school player, clean living. But I hear he finally picked up started doing the things I did once he came to Vegas, and I think it's when his wife left him. But why not? You're done.
What do you mean?
Well, I couldn't believe it. I thought he was so straight edge. I knew he didn't drink and stuff, but I had guys saying he was doing the Molly at the nightclubs. I don't fucking blame him.
The Molly Holly?
Yeah, I don't blame him. Why not? You're retired.
Right.
You're going out once in a while. Big freaking
Isn't
deal.
that big within the community? Dorian Yates, all those guys?
Yeah. The gay community.
The trapeze community.
Mr. G, if we wanted to, with all your homophobic remarks, we can get you in a lot of hot water if we wanted to. But we're not about that, and I'm surprised you made that accusation that we're trying to mess with your business. Not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, that's a fact.
Right.
But Bobby Sands just came into my business because you mentioned him. So, I'm honest. Why don't you fight Bobby Sands?
Who the hell is Bobby Sands?
His brother.
What's the story with his brother?
He's getting involved now. He'll be at I think he wanted to have him be the referee, he said yesterday.
Oh, that's not one-sided.
Yeah.
Let me be the referee.
Exactly. Let brother be the referee.
Yeah. Let me be the referee. Let me bring a steel chair in the ring. Just to sit on.
Better be some girls in here.
Yeah.
Need that motivation. Our lungs are on fire and we're busting that bag. I'm getting a lot of videos sent to me how to punch. I didn't get to, because I was training people today, but
Yeah.
when I want to say to all these guys talking about my punching, I understand constructive criticism. I'm going to correct it, but why don't you guys that say I'm not punching right, why don't you let me hit you like that? With the limp wrist or whatever. I'm one of those limp wristed guys.
Yeah.
You all know that. Let me hit you in the face with it. You hear that, John Romano? Let me hit you with one since it's so ineffective.
Yeah. Yeah, he was critiquing. Like,
Well, I can understand constructive. I appreciate it, but in a way it's kind of funny to me.
well, I know. I want it out there and I know you want it out there because it'll show the progression when you show up.
Yeah.
What happened to your eye?
Again? Another stink
Oh no, it was
eye?
just for a second. It was just, all right.
No, I didn't have anybody sit on my face for a while. I'm talking about months, so.
Oh.
Although I don't think it was caused. I think it's just the sweating.
Well, you'll get to see what it's like to sit on somebody's face in October. Why don't you just plan to do that? Just somehow sit on his face.
Hey, and you know what? Diarrhea is an accident, right?
Yeah.
Like Andre the Giant did to Bad News Brown during a match, just diarrhea on his face.
Well, if you eat a few of his keto cookies, I'm sure you'll definitely have diarrhea. As long as you have a pre-workout keto cookie.
Boy, he's gonna go nuts.
Yeah. What he needs to understand, now it's too late. Now there's real tension there. But it's like if we were going back and forth with Palumbo, what would we say? We'd say he put snake shit in his protein powder, right?
Yeah.
So he's a a fool for not expecting the things that we were
Yeah,
gonna
even
say.
Dave caught on to him. He was
Yeah.
like,
I almost texted Dave and said thanks for, he stuck up for us.
how could you not like Dave? I don't care what Dave ever said about me.
Right.
He gave me an opportunity to be on the finest show ever. He's one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. He's the one that got me into bodybuilding because he had all the information on his Bodybuilding Without Genetics page. And I learned how to get cut and how to keep everything simple.
Yeah.
And not to do high intensity cardio for competition, just steady state. It does work.
Yeah, even that Ask Dave show, all his shows combined, that's where for a while I listened to that Athlete X character, then a few others, but
Yeah.
most recently, the past 3 or 4 years, every time I go to try to learn something, even if it's like a keto diet,
Yeah.
what Dave Palumbo says, I always believe.
Yeah. Didn't have the prettiest body, but he had a disgustingly massive body.
Yeah.
You look at that one with Tim and Jimmy the Bull when they're doing back,
Yeah.
that little clip, holy crap. And he always said, once he quit doing all this volume and started giving his whole for 2 sets and using heavier weight, he grew. It's like all these people in here, we're going to see the 20-set workout. That really pissed me off yesterday. Got in here staying on a piece of equipment for half an hour or more. Just like them racks. I mean, I got back to it. I probably should just try to find a rack and start my rowing and deads and shrugs and then go to the other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to get one. But they're like people doing empty bars. Girls got their purses and crap and funds. They're laying on the ground like they're at a fucking marshmallow. One of those marshmallow toasting events that Mr. G used to go to back in the day.
A s'more session.
Yeah. Ex-hippie.
Well, he's got the complexion of a marshmallow, so maybe maybe we'll make a s'more out of him.
Hello. Good mistake. I thought he was the Big Show when I saw him in Boca. He was that big.
Yeah, and who was it that came to the door that time we went to his place? Was that E.T.?
I was like, where the hell are we?
Yeah.
That was creepy. And I don't want to, let's say if you've been training this gentleman who's a nice guy, let us into his home. I don't want to disrespect him, but he's anonymous.
Yeah.
He's been training him for years. That's one of the most pathetic physical specimens I have ever seen in my life, so.
What was he training him to be, a bookstore clerk? A barista?
Get him on stage, Mr. G. Say, this is my client.
Yeah.
Take him to the Ruby. Get him on stage. Fucking guy is fucking insane.
He's got the same physique as one of the Golden Girls. That's what they should call it. Except for Dave, they should. Well, it's really only Mr. G, but maybe they should change After Hours to the Golden Girls podcast.
Too much giggling before the workout kills strength, but it was funny.
That's all right.